I mean, it's less of a podcast and more real life conversations with Sidney Castillo. Look, time is of the essence. I found out the hard way. Started a podcast cause I got a whole lot to say. Dealing with this anxiety got me moving different. Whole life I knew something was off. I knew I wasn't tripping. My pop's gone. Every day I swear I miss him. My brother gone too, and every day I miss him. Nowadays I got more questions than answers. My mom, my hero.
Hey, give me a beat. Hey, it's your boy Sid. I'm on the beat, man. My cup is full. Episode 21, we on. I'm coming down, man. This is the song. I know Dope Boy did the intro, but I didn't remix it a little bit. It's that boy that come and Sid and man Chase. That's what I got. Hey, listen.
He was going for it.
That's as best as I can do. Welcome to another episode of My Cup is Full. We back with my boy Chase. Hey, I appreciate you, dog. Listen, let me just do the regular intros. I appreciate y'all subscribing. I appreciate all the comments. I appreciate the love y'all showed Chase in the comments for the first episode. Here's the thing. We're still in real time, but when this comes out, it'll be 2 weeks later, and you all have left comments, and so we're saying thank you in advance. Thank you for being vulnerable and opening it up. I appreciate you, because sometimes that could be, to each his own, but thank you for willingly talking about your life. Listen, man, 2 things I have to just... MeetSydneyCastillo.com is now available. MeetSydney.com. MeetSydneyCastillo.com. MeetSydneyCastillo.com is now available. Click it right now. We got everything on there. Everybody be like, where can I get your merch? Merch. We got merch. Okay, we got bucket hats. We got snapbacks. We got cruise shirts. We got hoodies. Yeah, we got a bunch of stuff on there that I want you to go look at. And it's got tour dates. I'm going to have classes coming soon where y'all can stop hitting me like, yo, okay, you're going to learn the classes virtually. Right, and we're gonna have that. It's such an amazing site. The site was built by this amazing light-skinned man that happens to do comedy as well, and he's here with us tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the show, Chase Anthony.
Hey. I gotta give a shout out to my homeboy Will.
Shout out to Will Ferrell, dog. We'll put his thing in there. Hey, listen, it's like I don't know who's the pinky or the brain, but both of them two get together and create some dopeness. I talked to Chase. He put me in contact with Will. Will's like the nigga in jail who can do everything. You just call Will, ring you twice. What you need? You be like a website. You got pictures. And they built me a dope site. So Will, I appreciate you so much. Chase, I appreciate you so much. Now, last episode, I felt like it was good for the audience to get to know like your background, right? Because I know you. You know what I mean? And some of the things you talked about, like, I know, oh, he talking about that? Dope. Like, I know you. So I feel like the people and your fans that know you from your work, it's cool for them to like, organically kind of get to know you. I wanted this episode to focus on your victories because you've had a lot of them. We'll start with the most, to me, it's not the most recent, but like, last episode we talked about how you a hustler, how you be grinding, how you went from boom, 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 boom. But one of the things you have developed, right, is the love of fashion, right? And now you have your own clothing line that we talked about last episode. But I want to seriously get into like what made you decide to like really commit. It's called Ghetto Genius Club, and you go look it up at ghettogeniusclub.com. It's called Ghetto. Listen, I know you probably got a man and you're like, what do I get him for Christmas? Because he's smart but dumb. He's like a ghetto genius, right? Now he has a club. Right, and you can get him a hoodie, you can get him a T-shirt, you can get him some sweatpants. He got the whole 9. You remember when Carl Kanai first got hot? This is the new Carl Kanai. It's called Ghetto Genius Club. Listen, I said all the time, you're gonna go support somebody. Why not support us? You know what I mean? Why not? Right? He's got great product. Get it for your little ones that come in all sizes. He got girl product, women product, men product, boy product. I don't know why I said all 4, but I did. Listen, he has all the sizes except 5X, and don't look at nobody like we're responsible. The sizes go up to 4X. And if you need a 5X, you can buy a 4X and a 1X. But I don't want no shit in the comments, because every time you sell merch, it's always one person that know damn well we don't have it. Do y'all have a tiny? No, I have a small. You don't have nothing smaller than a small? I have a get out of my face. So I'm going to say it because he not. Okay? They go up to 4X, right? Yeah, they go up to 4X. You know why? Because if you do 5 and 6X, you got to go outside the country and get it shipped. Because they don't just carry those in the factories. Even the factory person tell them to get down to a 4X. Anyway, GhettoGeniusClub.com. Make sure you support. Now, I think that's amazing. What made you want to start your own like brand as far as where did it come up? How'd you come up with it? All that jazz.
Where can they find your merch again?
What? Okay, live it up. I'll dunk it. MeCityCastillo.com. It's called My Cup is Full merch. We got bucket hats, snapbacks, crew necks, hoodies, t-shirts. You know, feel me? We gonna figure out how to get other stuff too, because I have a vision, right? And I want a cape that says My Cup is Full, and I want it like maybe like a silk cape, and it could be like some freaky stuff for you and your woman. It's like, baby, who are you? I'm My Cup is Full, man. Right? You just come out naked in a My Cup is Full cape.
When you did this, it didn't seem like it was a cape.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I realized I was going to say something else, and I was like,
and then you stopped.
I'm quick on my feet. I'm not finna say what I was going to say, right? I was going to say, get some My Cup is Full boxers, and on the crotch part, you'd be like, put a cup, right? And it's like, it's a cup of dick, right? But it's supposed to be anxiety, because that's what My Cup is Full about, anxiety. But if you have an imagination, you can put a cup on, and then it be like, baby, you want something to drink? Where? Out the cup. Boy, you stupid.
We haven't got to the place where we're making that merch yet. So if he orders that, it will be a different website that he will be providing. You can go get Ghetto Genius Club from GhettoGeniusClub.com, like he was saying. And what made me think of GhettoGeniusClub.com.
You want something? You want to drink something from the cup?
Like, no, that cup empty.
That's what they did. People been married for a long time. You know that cup empty. No, Ghetto Genius Club. How you decided?
Ghetto Genius Club came from a place of kind of trying to change the association to the word ghetto. Right? Mm-hmm. I think that throughout history, we've seen some of the best things have been created out of inconvenience or necessity, right? And some of those people have been poor, you know. And so that's where it kind of started, and a lot of it is genius, you know, and also culturally, we don't get enough credit. Everybody uses the shit that black people invented, and everybody uses the stuff that black people have invented.
That's Taylor, the director behind the scenes. Hey, speak it up. Come on. You're talking about Ghetto Genius Club. I need them to hear the genius. Yeah.
Fucking Sydney.
Again, please go ahead.
But no, it was really to change the association to the word ghetto, and I think that a lot of geniuses have come from negative circumstances or poverty in some senses, and I think that also too I feel like we make it a black thing. It's not a black thing. You know how many other poor people or people who live in ghettos? Are we counting trailer parks and all that other stuff? You know, like. Those are ghettos. So regardless of how y'all say it, and brilliant people have come from these situations. And so, but also too, like the great Harriet Tubman say, you know, I would have freed more if they knew they were slaves. That's why it's a club. Like you need to have the right mindset.
Who got PR training? He do. Okay, then take a class, Chase. When I met you, you didn't know that. You didn't know how to talk like that. You was still selling dope. You know what I mean? And now look at you. You got little slogans, as Harriet Tubman would say. If they knew more, I'd freed more. And that's where you find my merchandise at. Hey, I love it, dog. I love it. Hey, I seen James wearing yours. Listen, your brand is dope, right? Mm-hmm. I seen James wearing one of your hoodies. I was like, oh, that's dope. What's that? He's like, it's Chase stuff. I was like, oh, that's Ghetto Genius. He's like, yeah, okay, bet. Then he wore like another one, right? Look. He wore the third time he wore it, I was like, so he just hand out merchandise? And he was like, man, no, I bought it. It was like, oh, okay. Then he told me how much it cost. I was like, oh, and the material and shit. Like you got a good brand, bro. Like it's, yeah. And Chase has people that model his clothes. Right now it's just him, right? So I need other people to take pictures and send it and tag Chase in it, because right now it's a Rolodex of this nigga with all his clothes, right? And it's like, Chase, enough, right? So I want some volunteers, right? I want some women who are about 45 to 50, right? And I want y'all to come, and I want y'all to be models for Ghetto Genius Club, because I want y'all to be the voices. How you feel, Chase?
He meant 25 to 50.
25 to 50. I want y'all to show. No, I'm joking.
I was like, man, he just took it up to 50. I was like, the models, man, they kids gonna be taking these pictures.
Now, before we get into the other accolades, I do want to shout out that you have a whole business where you do merchandise and clothes, right? Like, we'll put that in the link as well. Like, when people be asking, they'd be like, hey, man, where you get your... I'd be like, Chase, I'm like, look, I don't want to say because I haven't given the credit. I'm like, the dude from such and such. But like, what? Nice. I'm like, yeah, he do that. It's like, what? But like, you got a whole setup. Like, I remember when you first got your first machine, I believe. I say first machine because he had several. And you was like somewhere in like an office space, whatever. And you was like, I won't say pushing shirts, but you was selling. I was like, okay, bet. Now, cut to, how many years ago was that when you started?
I want to say it was probably about 8, 9.
8, 9 years ago, right? Listen, 8, 9 years ago. Literally, I'll say a week ago, Chase, what you on? What you doing? You trying to like do some narcotics? And you know, what you used to sell? And I was like, no, I'm joking. No, and I was like, he's like, I can't right now. What you mean? I gotta do this order. And I was like, oh man, you need some help. You know what I mean? He's like, that's cool, man. It's 6,000 pieces. I said, what? Yeah, order for 6,000 pieces. So, and he had the tone like, I don't even have time to play with you right now. My employees are helping me get it done. Did you need anything? I don't have time to do anything that's not productive. And I was like, no, I don't have 6,000 worth of things to get in your way. But then listen, in like maybe 48 hours, Chase, what you doing? Just shipped off the 6,000 pieces. You did it in 2 days? Yeah, we work around the clock around here. But like that's what he do. Like when you go to his facility, it's extra cold in that building. Because he'll be like, you'll be freezing over there. And he'll be like, Chase, it's freezing. And then Chase will be like, well, it's because I have to keep the machines cool. And like, I won't tell you where it is. And it's a secret location. But he has a whole business. It's machines after machine. You know how you remember in the gym, like if you play basketball and the gym was a cold gym, and you cut the lights, zoom, and the whole gym would illuminate. That's how Chase, when he gets into work, that's what he does. He cuts all his machines on like zoom, 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 like 5, 6, not like little machine. Whatever the Kinko's got, that nigga got at the office. Yeah, sorry, I'm not angry. It just be freezing in that establishment. But
and you
it
say
makes sense.
something every time. Cindy came over the other day, was like this. I forgot my jacket.
I know where I was going.
And my snow boots. And a winter cap. I'm like this, Sydney, what is going on? Then it's always funny though, because when Sydney come over too, you'll give him something. But me and Sydney ain't the same.
We're two different sizes, so it's snuggy on me, but it kept me warm. I was like a chick. I was like, you ain't got nothing when it get cold.
He be wrapping the blankets around his head like a turtle.
First of all, that was not, nobody's supposed to know that, but yes. I'm bald, and it was a brisk breeze where we were at. So he had like a cover, not a cover, but like, you know, stuff you give chicks that are chilly. And what I did was, I wasn't in Boy Scouts, but I'm a smart man. So I'm a hustler too, Chase. And so I folded it like this way, long ways, and I wrapped it around my head because I'm bald. And so if you wrap it around your head, it creates warmth. And did I look silly? Yeah, but was I warm? Okay then. Superman didn't always wear capes.
Oh my God.
Sometimes he made them and put them around his head.
No, or he put them around his and said, my cup is full on it. Saving marriage.
That was a good callback. Now, so I just want to shout out your business, say congratulations, because you've been doing that like 9 years, and now you're doing orders for 6,000. Now it's like Chase like the person you don't call for like small orders. Hey man, can you do a couple shirts? Can I do what? Brother. I mean, Chase will refer you now, like, I can refer you to a shop that does 1 to 2 or 3 items at a time. But did you need 5,000 of those items? Oh, okay. Then if you could back up on my face.
Hilarious.
No, so anybody looking for product, like, I mean, like, merchandise, if you're an artist looking for merchandise, if you're a high school and you're looking for shirts for your basketball team, so, like, he does all this jazz and has a whole career. You heard the whole 7 incomes to get $1 million. He got 6 of them. Yeah, so congratulations. Now, dog, let's get to it. You know, Chase, comedian, you know what I mean? All right, cool, I'm knowing him. You know, young comic, cool. I'm probably getting on Chase nerves, right? Because I came under Ian Edwards. And Ian Edwards didn't really care about your feelings. He would be like, Sydney, da-da-da-da-da-da. And so then, I would come at Chase like, Chase. I wasn't Jamaican, but I'd be like, da-da-da-da-da. And then Chase got on the road, did his thing, right? With Sinbad, came back, and you could see like, oh shit, like some people like, you could tell, dog. Like if I went to the gym for like 3 to 4 months, like people would faint, right? And it's only because of the hard work that I would have put in, right? So in stand up, it's the same kind of version of that. Right. Like you start here, and then when you went on the road and you working with a legend and you doing the reps, you came back like strong. Like, oh shit, okay, boom. Now you auditioning and stuff, right? Now auditions work like, most people in LA know how auditions work, but since the pandemic and all this other jazz, they've been asking you to shoot at home a lot, right? Which is annoying to me. I made a post about it on Instagram. Hey, look here, and casting people that watch this show, we appreciate you and love you. Hey man, let me just tell you something. I'm not Spike Lee. So whenever you want me to do an audition, I got limited capability in this little, what did I say? Limital. That's
minimal and limited together. I like what you did there, man.
But you don't need
limital is not a word. She said intentionality. I said, ooh. She goes, is intentionality not a word? I said, I don't know. She goes, I'm college educated. But
intentionality is a word.
Yeah. First of all, I need the tone. I didn't know. But this, what I say?
Liminality.
Liminal?
Yeah, liminal.
Well, I get nervous. Limited. I have limited. Here's the thing.
He just starts over.
Hey Siri.
Hey,
he just reset his computer.
I don't like doing at-home auditions because they be asking to do too much, and I don't have all that. I don't want to. Now you go to Chase crib. Chase, they want to come help me audition. Chase wants to make it, and I got to get my shit together. Chase has all the contraptions. You need a tripod? Boom. You want a ring light? Done. You need a wall with some color? Sure, right here. Like, you need the light set up? Cool. He got one of these. You know what I mean? It's like one of these. Like, what are we doing? It's for like 30-second spot. Well, I want to book it. I'm like, all right, cool. So I go over there and I be helping Chase on his auditions, right? Now, Chase can act, right? So then Chase gets cast in this web series called A Whole New Irvin, right? I don't know why I want to say a brand new Irvin, but
well, it kind of was.
A Whole New Irvin. Now, I remember I was like, all right, man, let me look at it, right? And Chase puts it on. I'm like, oh, shit. Like, this look, how somebody's like, this look good. Like, the way it's shot look good. Like, you acting. I was like, oh, Chase can act. Oh, shit. It's like, oh, shit. Because, look, some people out here, it just is what it is. They can't act, right?
I agree.
And some people out here, let's say some people out here maybe could be good looking. Mm-hmm. And then they try to get in front of a camera, and it's like, oh, you're not good, right? You can really act. And I appreciate that whole series, like, embodied that. And then, like, you won an award. Mm-hmm. That was crazy.
Yeah.
I just thought about it like before. Like, you talked, like, you won a whole award. Like,
I appreciate that. Yeah. You know the fun thing about having this conversation with you is genuinely everything that I have ever booked, you have genuinely been happy for me. And I appreciate that more than you know, because we know that motherfuckers do not root for you out here. Genuinely. Yeah. You, at times where I didn't even know how to feel about what was happening, and you like this, boy, we made it and did this, like this. Don't do this like your commercial check. Don't spend the whole thing on a watch. We have a lot of those stories too. Man. A lot of those stories of like this, just valuable lessons on a lot of money.
We making money, and then 2 months later, like, dang, we lived too fast.
But we had a lot of fun though, didn't we?
But that was like,
I talk about that in therapy too.
That was just like a show where it was like, damn, bro could act. I know I ain't trying to be funny, but it was like, man.
I appreciate that.
And then you won a whole award.
Yeah. That's when you say it like that too, is different. Like, cause not that people get in for awards. I think that like when we were younger, we fantasized about going to the NBA and getting drafted or accepting speech from like, oh yeah, we just won a championship, MVP, And then when it gets to acting, I think I'm such a novice in certain places and respect the art. I don't think that was necessarily something that I thought, or coming from a web series. Shout out to Terry Dawson, that was a creator and director of A Whole New Irvin. And so then when they said, hey, we're going to enter this into a whole bunch of festivals and we're going to enter it for like a little Webby type thing. And I was like, all right, yeah. So when we get there, it's people from like Game of Thrones, it's people, all kinds of stuff in like different series and stuff. So they was like, oh yeah, you nominated for Best Comedic Actor and the series is nominated. I was like, oh, okay. So I'm watching the other stuff. I am getting drunk. I'm getting drunk because I'm like, there's no way in hell with this category I'm gonna win. Also, too, sometimes you're like, the black experience with people be like, I'm the only black person in this. There ain't no way in hell they're gonna let me win. I got up there and gave that speech. First of all, when I got up, I was like, hold my cup. My cup was full though. You know what I'm saying? A little shout out,
Appreciate it.
My boy, 'cause, you know what I'm saying? I'm a cheerleader too. You know what I'm talking about? And so yeah, no, that whole experience was dope. But it was also too like, I ain't gonna even hold you. You want some of those experiences, and sometimes I don't think that I ever thought of it as a lead, even though I want to be a superhero. Like that's the reason why I started acting. I don't think that I ever thought about it until I got there, and it's such an imposter syndrome situation. Even though you know you have training and you know that you know your lines. When I tell you, when it's like, hey, it's a whole new Irvin, and you Irvin, I'm like, so who else is Irvin? Like, because I know when I'm messing up, like, we're going to have to put in somebody. You know what I'm saying? Put him in, coach, a little backup, something like that. So the whole situation was foreign. Like, all right, cool, you doing this, because in your head, you like young Denzel, and then you see Denzel's son, you like, oh, there already is a young Denzel, so I got to find somebody else. Jaden's acting and doing
But
karate.
you did so good in that, though. Like, it's like, that was like your business card almost. You could use that and to give to people, like, oh, he could lead a show.
That is what happened. Bullshit you not. That's what happened. Excuse me. Doing a whole new Irvin, they did after like the awards and all that stuff, they did like this big screening at the Chinese Theater. And that's where I met Robbie Reed.
Robbie Reed's been an incredible character. Anything black you've seen basically in television, Robbie Reed has had her hand in. Yep. She's an incredible casting director. She has a brother. Yeah. They both look alike. Yeah. She has been doing amazing things for over her career. So look at Robbie Reed, and you'll see a plethora of films you grew up on. And she's casted those films, right? And so Chase got an opportunity to meet her at the Chinese Theater.
Man, and it was dope because, again, I don't think that I've ever looked for relationships for leverage or anything like that. It's more an energy thing for me. Like, if I fucks with you, I fucks with you. If not, then cool. It was nice meeting you. And I remember when I met her, I get curious about what we do. So I'll be wanting to know, like, the inner workings. So I ask a lot of questions, which sometimes can be annoying, but it's like I want to know. So I was like, hey, I was still touring with Sinbad, and I was like, hey, if you have any, like, spots for readers or anything that you need, like, I'll do a camera operator because I want to learn more about the process so I know what y'all looking for. And, again, I want to get familiar with it. And then she was like, yeah, no. I didn't think that she would ever call, but it seemed like the right thing to do in that situation. And then she started calling me. So then when I was in town for Off the Road, I'll be in there doing table reads. And that's wild too, because you're seeing the people who have these parts and these roles, and you're like, am I ever gonna get this opportunity? Am I ever gonna be in this situation? Is it gonna be this? Like, I know I did a whole new Irvin, and then during that time, a whole new Irvin got bought by HBO.
I think I remember. Yeah.
And so that was dope too. So I was like, okay, we about to be on HBO, which, again, I say all this to say, like, I've been edited out a lot of shit, okay? A lot of stuff that y'all done seen. So, like, when he talking about these victories, like, they mean a lot, because when you...
That's why you got to celebrate them.
Man, and that's why again, between you and Jay Phillips, y'all kind of taught me how to celebrate this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you let me, like, nah, bro, like, you need to understand how many people are doing this and what you just did. And then because I see you every day, like, I know how big this is. Jay Phillips gave it to me. I think we were supposed to go to Vegas. One of those times supposed to be Vegas. You want to have a good time in Vegas, go with Sydney. All right?
Shut up, man. Go ahead.
All right, especially because he don't gamble no more, so you really going to have a good time. Although he did take another one. I don't want to make him do his accent, but he did take a lot of Chinnadu's money one time. That was a fun trip.
Oh,
but
yeah.
We ain't got to talk about that. So no, it was dope. And then fast forward though with Bigger, right? So
Bigger, TV show on BET Plus, did 2 seasons. Chase was the lead of the show. Go ahead.
One of the leads was ensemble cast.
Hey, whatever, man.
You know,
you who on the show right now?
It take a village.
No, I'm playing. You see PR training. I don't have it.
Hilarious. Shout out to Will Packer too. Shout out to Devon Shepard. Shout out to David Arnold. So David called me during that experience, which I was like, wait a minute, how do you even know? Found out he was one of the supervising producers. I was like, oh my God, like, so you don't know how some of these people are going to contact you. And I remember Robbie and them, they called me and was like, hey, we want you to audition. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. But they called me directly. Usually they call your agents or your manager. So I called them like, hey, they want me to audition. It was like, next time tell them to come through us. I was like, okay, my bad. And then I got the call back. I did the call back, and then they wanted to do, this was like my first time going through it. You do a screen test, you do a chemistry read, and then you do a network read. And what they did was they put it all in one day, which I was like, damn. But I was still touring with Sinbad. So rest in peace, Dustin Felder. I was working with him.
Oh, rest in peace, Dustin Felder.
Yeah.
He was the coach on Marlon.
Yeah.
On the TV show Marlon. Tall dude, black dude. That dude pulled me to the side, dog, on Marlon. He's like, Sydney, man. He's like, I love that you be opening for Marlon, whatever. He said, you so funny, you a star. I want you to hone in on you. He told me that shit. I never forget that. Tall dude. When he passed, I was like, what? Because I had seen him, man. Rest in peace, Dustin Felder. Man. Great acting coach. He was like 6'5". You know what I mean? He's a tall dude. I remember. You know what I mean?
Man,
yeah.
Like real shout out to Dustin Felder because everybody that you see on TV right now, Keith Powers, Woody McClain, Michelle Michener,
Woody,
Scotty, like Iantha, like I'm talking about. It's a list of monsters who are actors who came through. Dustin Felder, Alden Hodges, all like
Alden.
Yeah, all
Alden stayed with Dustin. I know that.
Yeah, well, when I went to go visit Dustin in the hospital, Alden was up there. That's how I found out that him and his brother were in the Watches, which I was like, this is...
Oh, they deep in the Watches. Like, they got their own watch company, I believe.
Yeah.
You know, Shiana introduced me to Edwin, and
I think you told me about that.
Yeah, when I won $100,000,
Mm-hmm.
Alden took me outside and gave me advice. He was like, come here. I was like, what's up? He's like, you first get this much money, you want to take $10,000 and just put it away. I was like, okay. And he told me about his experiences with money and making money.
Right.
I was like, okay, bet. It was like a real dope conversation. I was like, okay, bet that. Thank you.
Yeah, no, shout out to Alden. Dope conversation that I had with him too when I was visiting Dustin. But yeah, so I was still touring with Sinbad, and once they squished everything into that one day, I was like, oh man, we were doing Tommy T's. So we were up in the bay.
Yeah.
And I remember this experience because have you ever heard of Jet Suite? So,
yes.
So Jet Suite, right? So it fly kind of close, but if you're like in your head, you're like, oh, it's a jet. Oh, hilarious. Yeah. So in your head, you're like, oh, okay, cool, I'm gonna get on a jet. So we fly up to the bay with Sinbad, and I remember like working on my lines over the weekend, working on it that night, but I was gonna fly back early Monday morning, and we had a show Sunday night, and then I had I think that shit started at like 8 or 9, something wild early. I was like, oh my God. So I fly back early. And I remember that night before because I wanted to work on lines, and Dustin was like, yo, I'll try to stay up as late as I can. And my aunt was like, well, just call me. I'll wake up and run the lines with you. And Sinbad was going and going and going. I'm like, oh my God, I'm never going to book nothing. And then he talking to everybody, so I was like, what the fuck?
Well, he's saying going and going, I mean, he on stage.
Yeah.
And sometimes the headliner is not documented. He's supposed to do like 60 minutes, 45 you know, man, and then they get off at 60. So as the opener, you could clock it. You could be backstage. You could fall asleep for 30 minutes. You know what his last joke is. So when you going and going, that means the headliner either got tipsy, right, because they drink and they having a good time, right, which will happen a lot with, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or they just on some creative wave of like, I'm feeling it right now. And so they stay longer. So going on and on means he's way past 70 minutes.
No. I've seen... Shout out to Sinbad. I've never seen him do the same show, ever. I was on the road with him for 5 years, and he's doing hours. At times he's done 3 hours, and I'm just like, whose mind works like this? So when I said, no, I'm never going to catch him. But sometimes, right, when you got something to do the next day, you like this, hey.
You need me to close the show? You need me to go back up like
there? Should we pack this up? You know, I'll go hand out some bills. So I remember landing that morning. I worked with my aunt all throughout the night. I landed that morning, and Dustin was willing to work with me. So I pulled over, and right before I pulled into BET and MTV's parking lot, me and him going over. He was like, "Man, you got this." I was like, "Oh, I appreciate it, Dustin." And I go in there, and you see everybody that you know, right? And because they going through it like that, you see everybody. And I've never been through this process, but I'm still geek because I just flew in. You know, and you know what the high is from like performing. Like that high will keep you up there when you have a good show too. And I had a great show because I love Tommy T's. So I'm landing. I'm still on that high. I'm working on this. I just was technically on a jet. You know what I'm saying? There was more people on there we didn't know, but you know it was still a jet. And so when I get in there, I start seeing people that I know, and that was a dope experience until, again, you realize everybody can't go, right? So throughout the day, they're just slowly trimming people.
It's like cuts in like sports. You play sports and they say, you know, go to the gym and look at the wall at like 10 a.m. tomorrow. And everybody's name ain't gonna be on the list. It's like that, but worse, because they'll just be like, Taylor, go in, all right, you'll come back out. Tasha, go in, come back out. They look at you and say, Taylor, thank you.
Yep.
And you know they keeping Tasha and not you. And it's just, they don't give a damn. And then there could be 3 of y'all. You going home, and they'll narrow it down. She going home. And the last 2 people, they might keep going back in there for like a long time because they trying to decide who got the best chemistry with Chase. If they choosing Chase, who got the best? So, and then boom, it's like, and Keisha, thank you. And then boom. But like you're there for a long, doing this whole process, going in, going out in your head, like, did I do it right the first time?
Yeah.
Go back in, like, how did
It's wild because again, you're starting so early in the day and you know people, right? So you might see your homeboy and y'all going out for the same role. So some people get weird in that place where they might not want to interact with you. They might feel like, oh, okay, cool. Me, I've literally always been that person. What's for me is for me. I can't, like, somebody can't take from me. So I don't have a hating bone in my body. I hope all y'all like hear that. Anybody that's like, oh, Chase, no, it's impossible. Like, I am built that different. I don't have a hating bone in my body. If you think that I hate it on you, then you probably hate yourself. The problem's deeper than we think, okay? But literally, so I'm in there and I'm watching our friends slowly leave, right? And for me, because of, I think, the Minnesota and all that, like, I'm very much like, oh, okay, cool, you can have it. Like, because, you know, I would rather that you have it and people have looked out for me. So it's like, oh, okay, cool. And then we keep going through. It keeps dwindling down. And then it's between me and somebody else. They send everybody else home and they tell me and him, the lead, the chick who ended up playing my love interest, and Tristan. Tristan, that's my guy.
I love Tristan, dog.
That's my guy. Shout out to the whole cast though, because I will say when they do chemistry reads and all this stuff, like it
Tristan's
really
talented, dog.
It really is. Oh my God,
I love Tristan.
And brilliant mind. But I remember that day during the whole process, Angel saved me once because I dropped a line. You know what I'm saying? So when they talk about chemistry, like only chemistry could get you there. Only, you know what I'm saying, the flow of energy. Because if I don't know you, then how am I picking up something or improvising or doing this or wanting to help you? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm so worried about my own shit. Like, I'm not listening to you. And that's how some actors are. Instead of being in it, like, they just listening, like, and then you, oh, and then all right, and then it's like, nah, that's not the emotional response that's going.
Teach him how to act, Chase. Teach him right now on camera. That's not the what. That's not the emotional response I need.
Yeah. So
GhettoGeniusClub.com.
Hey, hello. Cup is full. And so, it was a dope experience. So then they told me that I had to come back the next day. The wildest thing about that, and it is one of my favorite people to this day, and I think he has probably told this story as well. It was between me and DeVal Ellis, right? And the reason why he's one of my favorite people, him and his wife. So shout out to Kay, shout out to DeVal, shout out to the whole family.
I feel like I know him.
As soon as I show you, you'll be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fucking, they tell us, but prior to that, me and my girl was watching a show that they were on where it was like Black Love. And so I felt like I knew him. So instantly in that moment, I'm like, oh shit, now me and you got to come back. They didn't tell everybody else. They got to tell the people that we in the scenes with, like, to come back. So we got people to interact with. So I'm like, oh shit. So then when I see them, I'm kind of rapping with them. And it's interesting because also me and this nigga are dressed exactly the same. He just had on more expensive shit. I was like, oh.
He had a Ghetto Genius Club hoodie on too.
Hilarious.
No, Joe, go ahead.
Love
Did
the
he
shout
get
out,
it? Did he get it at ghettogeniusclub.com?
He did.
Go ahead. What's the story?
He's so funny. I love it. And so I'm like rapping with them for a little bit. We all talking, whatever. And then they're in town. They flew in town because they stayed in New York at the time. So then they were supposed to go on vacation, but he flew in. So they kind of postponed their trip, whatever. And then when he had to do a callback, they was like, all right, well, we'll just cancel the trip. And then once we found out about this. So I was like, oh, okay, bet. I went to go get money for the valet, right? And when I seen them, they were getting in their car. They was like, where'd you go? I was like, oh, I got to get my car from downstairs. They was like, so why didn't you go downstairs? I was like, well, I went to go get money for the valet. It was like, ain't the valet free? And I was like, yeah. It was like, I was like, yeah, but I got to tip him. I'm also going to be back here tomorrow. But that's that Sinbad shit. Like, Sinbad let you know, like, nah, let this be free flowing. Take care of everybody because you're going to see these people and you don't know how that money is affecting somebody. Don't hoard it. And so I think that was also a moment for them, like, oh, okay. So then the next day, we got to come back. So I take in mind, I ain't slept. So when we got to go back the next day, I go home and go straight to sleep. I'm like, all right, I'll work on this. But when you wake up that late in the night, everybody sleep. So I'm trying to run lines. I'm in there trying to be all the characters and shit on some stupid shit. We come back the next day. Me and this motherfucker dressed exactly the same again. Again, he has on more expensive stuff. Like, as soon as I seen it, I was like, I got on red shoes. He got on Giuseppe's. Like, there was a drastic difference between the two. But what I enjoyed and why I will fucks with them forever is it was love, right? I ain't never rooted for somebody else. And we both said the same thing. Like, oh, shit, bro. Like, if anything, I'm glad that it'd be you. Like, y'all canceled y'all trip, all this stuff. And again, I didn't know what the experience was going to be. So I'm just rooting. Mm-hmm. He said the same thing. Like, nah, bro, like, I'm going to be honest. Fucking, like, me and my wife found ourselves rooting for you. Like, shit, well, I mean, this is going to be a good dude that get it. So we go in there, we do our whole chemistry thing, and then when we leave, we all rap and say, all right, cool, we're going to link up. And this is why I fucks with Devon Shepard and Will Packard and them too. I end up getting it, which was dope. Like, it was a dope experience. Yeah. No, it was.
This is Taylor. Every time she hears something, she doesn't clap. She goes,
oh, yeah. No, definitely I know. And I like it. And then so when I'm walking out that second time, I get a call from David Arnold. David's like, nigga, I heard that you killed it in there. And I was like, oh, shit. Thanks, Dave. Oh, shit. How the fuck you know? He said, they let me know when you was in there, nigga. I heard that you did your thing. Right? So I'm trying not to get worked up because I'm like, all right. Because, again, once you've been edited out of stuff. And
here's what he's leaving out, Taylor. When you test, they tell you how much money you're going to make per episode. So I won't say what he made. I don't remember. But on the lowest of lows for lead of a show, this is low. 17,000 an episode, right? Super low, right? Listen, dumb low, right? Realistically, 25,000, 30,000 an episode. And so you get picked up probably for 6 or 8. What you get picked up for? 10. Picked up for 10, right? So you do 25 grand, 30 grand, or 17 grand times 10. So look, when people look, so you sign that before they choose you. So when people call, when people call you, look. So when people call you, like, so you sign that before you find out if you got the role. When you test and it's down to 5 people, all y'all have signed your deals already, right? All of you signed deals. So your deals can be different depending on who you are and your credits, but the deal's been taken care of before you go test. So when somebody telling Chase, somebody saying, nigga, look, you've killed it, and my phone hasn't rang. Stop, because I'm doing the math already.
Man. What Kanye say? I got a problem with spending before I get it. What?
Hey, you booked it though.
Man. And so I remember that. And then, so you want me to tell you the funny part about all that is me and Tanisha, who played the lead on there, me and her left from there, but she didn't drive. So I was like, oh, I'll drop you off. So then I go and drop her off, and she was like, because I guess everybody still didn't know. So she was like, hey, do you maybe want to get something to eat? Like, so I don't have to just go in the house and think about this, because I'm going to think about this. And I was like, sure. We go to In-N-Out and we go sit and eat. up on like one of the canyons. And then we had terrible service, right? So her phone rings a little bit, and then they was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna call you back. And then my phone rings, and they was like, where are you at? And I was like, oh, I'm eating In-N-Out on a mountain. They was like, that's hella romantic. I was like this. I was like, nah. They was like, oh, okay, cool. Call us back. And they hang up, but it's my manager and my agent on the phone. Shout out to Jackie at the time.
That's
Jackie.
just Taylor, just so you know, again, I be translating.
Oh, yeah.
When you book something, right? Everybody hop on the call. So if it's an audition, my agent might call me, right? And if it's a callback, my manager might call me. When you book the role, it's Chase, hi, how are you doing? We have Cynthia, we have Josie, we have Michael, and we have Lance on the phone. And then you already know. And they'll have the lead person, whoever's the highest available agent or person of the firm, be like, Doug, do you want to take it? And then Chase is sitting there like, yo, what's up? You book bigger! And then all the white people go, oh my God! Because they all count your money for you. Oh my God!
Because they just got paid too.
Yeah.
So, no, and the funny thing is, right, it's weird when they all on the phone and they like this, where you at? And I'm like, oh, I'm eating In-N-Out on a mountaintop, of course. That's what I do on Tuesdays. And they was like, all right, cool, we'll call you back. And I'm like, the fuck? Right, because everybody was on the phone, so I'm like, does everybody break bad news? Like, I guess cool. Y'all didn't do this when it came to fucking.
They would have screamed for him, and he's eating a cheeseburger on the mountain right now.
So then I'm like, all right, cool. So then I get on the 405, and I'm driving down the 405 to Santa Monica, and I called him back, and then again, just like Sydney said, everybody was on the phone that time. Now I gotta wait for them to get everybody back.
He's back from eating his burger. Oh, they gotta pretend like they're excited again.
They gotta put their burger
what
down.
What like, wait, bigger. Okay, all right. Practice. Yeah, all right. Come on. I got a 6 o'clock call. Let's go. Chase. All right.
And he ain't lying. He ain't lying at all. And I remember like driving down the 405 right before I hit the Ghetto, and like, that shit ain't real. That shit real than the motherfucker. And it just so happened, I think we brought this up earlier. For some reason, every win after I started celebrating with you, and then it got expensive, our celebrations, I was like, hey, you need to just find a song. You need to find a song that you can listen to for wins. And it's that Drake and Black Coffee, where it was like, I need you to get your shit together so we could be together, whatever. But it just lets you know, like, oh, okay, cool, you on a journey, but like the beat kind of gets you going, and it's like, oh, okay, cool, enjoy this, take it as work, and keep going. All right, cool, and then keep going. All right, cool, enjoy this, and then keep going. So for some reason, that has always now been like the song.
Billboards. The homies now on billboards.
Yeah.
Across the country.
That was weird.
Bill sending you texts. Hey! I think you went downtown. It was somewhere around here.
It was right in the corner.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah.
I never told you about that?
What?
Bruh. So I'm having a rough day. I don't know what the fuck I was going through, just emotionally, just everything, right? And then too, because once you get money and you've experienced this, sometimes you don't know what to do because you almost want to give it all away. And so living downtown, you feel bad because you see everybody.
I don't deserve all this. Yeah, it's a weird feeling.
Like, it's weird.
Look, we sound like two rich niggas. It's a weird feeling to have so much access to cash that you're like, I don't deserve it all.
Man. And so it just that whole process of moving downtown, it was weird. And I remember fucking, I don't know if it was some family shit, but it was just rough. And I was like, man, I'm about to go on a fucking walk. Which I ain't just gonna go on no mental health walk in downtown. Santa Monica? Yeah, I'll go on a mental health walk. Downtown? No, bro. You about to be worse off than when you
I went to Chase's house. He lived downtown. This before I just moved downtown. Like literally the first week. I think I came over his house and kicked it. I was leaving his house like 2 a.m. Chase said, see it. Well, head on a swivel. I said, what you mean? You still downtown. And I was like, all right. And look, the walk there was like, okay, cool. The walk back, when I tell you, I thought I was in motherfucking Vietnam War. I was like looking like I wish somebody, I'm not in the mood, bro. And I was just to get them there, I said, yeah, I made it in. Right? And nobody bother me. You know what I mean? But sometimes downtown, it'll just be like a crazy person that want to test your crazy. You got like, you know what I mean? It's like, bro, like you yeah.
Run up if you want on me.
Yeah.
I got something that's gonna shut this whole shit down.
Dog, I will shut it. I'm gonna be famous.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sorry.
I was just like, man. So yeah, I go on a mental health walk, and it's even weirder again when you're around the corner from your house, right? So I'm on, and I'm like, oh shit. And I remember getting over there by the Staples Center, crypto.com now, which is so weird. Fucking, I get over there and I look up, I'm like, oh, that nigga kind of look like you. And I just keep on walking. That nigga do look like you. Oh shit, nigga, that's you. Right? And I look up and I'm like, oh my God. Right? Instantly, it was like the surprise party all over again. Right? And instantly I'm like getting emotional, but like it's probably like maybe like 9:30 in the morning or some shit. So it's kind of like dim. I think it was also like on like a Sunday or some shit like that. You ever get so excited and there's nobody around? I'm excited as fuck and I'm looking for somebody and all this. So I'm like, oh, you got to take a picture of this. And I get out my phone to take the picture. Soon as I go to push flash, my phone dies. So I'm like, God just wants you to soak this up. And I just stood right there and I just let the tears kind of just stream.
Oh, so you do be
down.
crying?
Yeah, I'm a real one.
Oh, it's crazy because in the first episode we talked about tears and it was like,
Well, because it was a surprise party. And at first I didn't remember the story that way, but then something that you said kind of triggered it.
hey man, no one's judging here. My cup is full.
Yeah.
We're happy that you're opening it up.
Yeah, I get in the shower to cry.
Women gonna be in the comments like, hey, he just so good. He be crying, he crying.
Yeah, I get in the shower to cry. But,
We've heard twice. Okay, enough.
I'm giving you a recommendation. I'm helping you out,
Like a
man,
goddamn
just in case.
LA Mason.
Huh?
Good. Never mind. I can't finish this joke. Anyway, so boom. Now on the first season, this is what's dope. This is what's funny about Chase too. I'll say this: when you like your friends be working, I think I do make sure, right? You watch the first episode. Like you with the hype, you with everything, and then you love it and support. But Chase used to be like, "Hey man, you watched the second, third episode?" I was like, "Yes." He was like, "No, you didn't." I'm like, "Yes, I did, Chase." He said, "What was your favorite part about it?" I was like, I don't want to get into it, bro. Like, that's stupid. I like, oh, girl, your love interest? Yeah, she's hilarious. And he was like, nigga, I'll be so vague because I only watched the first episode. And then I watched, I got finally like caught up and I could start having a real conversation. It was one dude, I was like, man, I don't like him. I don't like, you know, he's like, no, man, he's acting. He's a real good guy. On the show, I don't like it. He was like, so means he's a good actor. Yeah, I remember that. But yeah.
Yeah, that's why I say like those moments, like even this conversation is dope to me just because like genuinely you have always, and I always remember the Slim Jim commercial. Like that one will always be.
Chase did a commercial. I think it was the first one, right?
Nah, that was like,
You did one commercial. I think I seen it at the house. This is when, okay, so.
I was renting so I was at your house and it was when I was renting my house.
You had stepped outside or something.
No, I went running. I would try to talk you in. This is so funny. So I will say, Sydney, if you go over to Sydney's house, Sydney will cook for you. Sydney will do all that shit. Like, he got some real Southern hospitality shit. Fucking, so.
You go big.
I was renting my crib out, I think, and I was staying at Sydney's, and I was like, man, y'all want to go to the gym? And then Sydney was like, nah, I'm good. I'm going to go ahead and cook this up. And I was like,
I'm going to go ahead and cook this up. It's hilarious.
I think DC was there. I think it was DC or Brandon. It was one of them. And literally, I was like, all right, I'm going to go for a run. And for some reason, I remember the outfit and everything. Oh, because I got the video. You have video. Yeah, you got video of me when I got back. And you was like, oh shit! And because it kept coming on, because you hit me when I was running.
Yes. Like, I can remember the commercial now.
Mm-hmm.
You was in a motherfucking
the
buggy. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the buggy one. Because there was also the other one where it kept coming on. It was the ESPN one. And every time we would go out, because they would play at ESPN at bars, Brandon would always blow up the spot like, hey, that's him on TV.
So you gotta realize, like, I don't know how to say this, but like, we all got our own like trauma individually, right? That we come with, right? And then you mesh as a young dude out here. Like, I grew up out here as an adult. I'm out here at 21. So adult LA is all I know as an adult. And so you go through like really struggling, bro. Like in all this other jazz. And to see your partners win, like that's why I don't get jealousy or envy. It's crazy. To see your partners win, dog, in real time it's probably the best feeling, dog. Like to see you on the commercial in the buggy, like just to like, damn, it's like it's happening, dog. Like I'd be that excited, dog.
Sydney, the reason why you are, me and Sydney have been through some shit. The reason why I will always fuck with Sydney the long way, right? And this will tell you a lot about Sydney. Because it is highs and lows of this business and everybody not rooting for you. And then sometimes when people up, like, they up. Cool, it ain't no shared experience, ain't none of that shit. I remember Sydney came over to my crib in Santa Monica. And I don't think this was when you won Funniest Wins or any of that. I think that you just had money because I think you were touring. And Sydney comes over, and I think I was sad or something like that. And literally...
I'm an auntie, dog. I got auntie at heart.
Yeah, he was like this. He was like, "You want to go get something to eat?" I was like, I can't really go right now. This, for some reason, this nigga opens up my refrigerator. He looks in there. He was like, oh, okay, cool. He pretends to answer his phone. He walks outside. At the time, I lived right across the street from a Bonds. He comes back. I'm not going to get emotional. He comes back, and he hands me a $200 gift card. He was like, bruh, I know time's gonna get hard, but no matter what, man, we're gonna make sure that you can eat. And the reason why I'm emotional about that is because when we used to stay over at your house, like you said, motherfuckers just, I don't know if their mindset wasn't to contribute, but that was always my mindset. Like, yo, if you want to come over here, bring something. And I remember those nights, bro. Me, you, James, fucking Brandon, being in Taco Bell drive-thru. Nigga, using our last to make sure that everybody got something. Sometimes we'll use the last for some weed. Like we gonna find some change for some blunts, and so those moments, bro, they mean so much, and that's why those wins, when you celebrate with somebody that's genuinely happy for you, it makes it all worth it in some senses, right? Because this is a long, hard journey, and people ain't looking out for people. People ain't rooting for you. People ain't trying to hold you down. None of that shit. So when somebody go out their way, I've seen a fair share of money. So $200 is still a lot of money to me, right? And this ain't the first time you did it. It was the second time. The first time was my accounts got froze because the student loan people tried to get their money, and I came back from Vegas. I had spent all my money. They froze my accounts. God damn it! And this
I was in
fucking
9C, and he was like going through it. What's wrong with you? He was like, they froze my accounts, and I was like, who froze your accounts? He was like, oh, money from such and such, such and such. Like, I said, how much money you got? He was like, I think he had none. They took everything. I'm being like, I said, okay, bet. Right, I forgot the amount I gave him, but then I remember calling Ron G, because Ron G is coming. But I knew Ron had some bread, because it's like levels of like when you start working. I knew Ron had done like 90 college. He just had some. I called Ron like, Ron, Chase need help. He need our help, and Ron like little God. So I was like, the nigga need help. He said, what you mean? I said, they froze his accounts where he ain't got nothing. I gave him some of what I had. I need you to give him $100. Give him $100. Son, just give him $100. And Ron was like, okay. Thank you, brother. But bet, and I'm walking back in the room. I was like, hey, Ron got you. I think we got maybe some groceries, some shit. But like, yeah. But to me, it's like, I don't like, we here so we can talk about it. When you fuck with somebody, to me, it's like you supposed to like show up like that. Like, that's crazy. Like that you would not have no groceries and I have groceries and I'd be like, all right, my nigga.
Yeah.
Like that, you know what I mean?
But it that's not everybody's mindset, bro. And through my journey, I've seen over and over and over and over, people do not move and think like that. As much as it's supposed to be a village and everybody's supposed to look out, is a lot of people get to a top or the middle and they forget that they've ever been at the bottom, which is wild to me, you know. But I don't know. It be those moments that it also helped me kind of see who I am as a person, right? Because I don't think that people would look out for you the way that they do unless they think that you're a good person, which for me sometimes is more rewarding than the money because I have felt abandoned. You know what I'm saying? I have felt alone. I have been on my own for a long time. And so sometimes you need that validation or that gratification from people who are moving or going through things because you don't think that they notice because everybody's just moving. So that's why I say that, like, nah, bro, that shit, that impacted my life in a way that, like, it helped me see people, right? Because I think that you can kind of get lost on that shit and you don't want to fuck with people. That shit helped me see, like, oh, okay, cool, like, there's love out here, bro. And just like you giving it, and it ain't in vain. Keep giving it, and you gonna get it when you need it. And I needed that shit. Like, I needed it. Also, it was like some crackhead shit. Like, when somebody give you some money like this, I need you to spend the money on this. They go get you a Vons gift card. Other than that, they give you cash.
That's
like, you're not gonna buy no weed. You're not gonna buy none of this shit.
And me and be like, I'll be right back. Don't give him cash. He gonna smoke it. He gonna smoke the cash.
That's why we ain't got a TV now. You like, oh shit.
Hey, listen, we wanna wrap this up with this, man. I love you.
I love you too, brother.
I've known you for like 16 years, and like it's been a friendship where like, boom, it was here, and it's back, boom, and it's like throughout this whole process, like I love you, and I've been like always super proud of you. I'm not looking at you because I'm not trying to make you cry or me. I'm super proud of you. I think the audience, knowing like your background, has a reason to cheer for you if they didn't before now, just because you have been through more things than I could imagine going through, right, at a young age. And like your legacy to me is like your perseverance. You keep getting up every day to be great, every day. Like the show got canceled like after season 2. All right, cool. Then I know you got another movie with like, because you was with Pretty V in the MTV movie. Still working. Your business, GhettoGeniusClub.com. You have a whole printing company. Like your whole body of work as a man is to be praised, right? And you should be like feel accomplished and like loved on. So like just congratulations for like your journey and like where you've accomplished and still the things to come. You know what I mean? So like I love you and thank you for being on the podcast so the audience can get to know you too.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you having me. I didn't mean to get emotional, guys.
Listen, you know what's funny, dog? I say, Chase, I want you to watch the podcast. He said the other day, he said, man, whatever, dog. I hear you be having people crying. And he said, I ain't finna watch that late at night. I hear you be having people cry. I said, no, dog. I don't go in there to make nobody cry. We go in there and we have real conversation, dog. And these 2 episodes is a reflection of just that. 2 boys, we talking. We just talk about some real shit.
I know. I thought once we went and got snacks and shit, the little snack break, I thought I was gonna be good, guys.
All right, before we go, we're gonna do this before we end. That's how we're gonna end. I want you to say the name of your website as fast as you can, 3 times fast. I'm gonna say the name of my website 3 times fast in the mic, and we're gonna say our websites over and over again. Ready?
Okay.
On 3. Hey guys, we want y'all to support us, man. I don't know why I'm doing this. I just thought about it in my head. But listen, I have a website called MeCityCastillo.com. He has one called GhettoGeniusClub.com. And now we're finna say it 3 times fast. Count us down, Taylor.
3, 2, 1.
MeCityCastillo.com. MeCityCastillo.com. MeCityCastillo.com.
I mean, it's less of a podcast and more real life conversations with Sidney Castillo. Look, time is of the essence. I found out the hard way. Started a podcast cause I got a whole lot to say. Dealing with this anxiety got me moving different. Whole life I knew something was off. I knew I wasn't tripping. My pop's gone. Every day I swear I miss him. My brother gone too, and every day I miss him. Nowadays I got more questions than answers. My mom, my hero, I just watched her be cancer. And